Happening next week, Michigan entrepreneurs can compete in a Shark Tank style competition called Pitch Me to win prizes for their startup. We have Pete Martin with the MSU Research Foundation joining us. Pete, what does our community need to know about this pitch style competition?
So many things. First of all, it's a $2 million pitch competition, the largest that Michigan has ever had. We have 4 finalists now, but that came from a pool of over 375 companies that are all here in Michigan that applied. They competed this fall for the plan was to invest $1 million, but it ended up being a little over $1.7 million in investment and prizes same day, because we had private venture capitalists come in to match our investment, and Google Cloud came in to provide Google Cloud credits to each one of these companies. Super cool. We've got 4 finalists that are going to be competing on April 7th here in Lansing, because this is the state's pitch competition. So we're going to have the championship in the state's capital. And one of these 4 companies is going to walk away with a $1 million prize.
Can you brag about some of these businesses? You were just doing that earlier, so we need to share this again. But all the different innovations and just incredible ideas that are brainstormed out of our state.
Yeah, oh my goodness. Amazing things come from Michigan. Amazing people come from Michigan. Even the MSU Research Foundation, where I am, which has been around for about 50 years, the organization exists in large part today because of an innovation that came out of MSU called cisplatin, which many of your viewers might know this. But cisplatin, I didn't know, is like the miracle chemotherapy drug. It has saved millions of lives. It took the survival rate for testicular cancer from 10% to over 90%, and that came from MSU faculty. But more has come from Michigan as well. The snowboard was invented here, styrofoam was invented here, saran wrap, the flu vaccine, the whooping cough vaccine, right? Incredible things have come from Michigan, and that's all of that is outside of automotive, right? Where the first mile of paved road was in Michigan. Traffic lights come from Michigan, suburbs, the expansion, like all of that stuff comes from Michigan. And what we're doing with this pitch competition is finding the next generation of companies that are building things that are going to have as large of an impact on humanity as we already have as Michiganders, and put a really big spotlight on them so the world can see what's happening here.
It's a win enough to get that awareness, but in addition to, if any of these businesses end up winning that prize money, that can really help their startup too. What can they do with that money once they win, and how many businesses can take home that prize money? Yeah,
so by winning this capital, we had 4 finalists. They each won $250,000 or more in the fall, and they're doing what we would expect them to do, right? They're hiring people here in Michigan, and they're paying great wages, like really great wages. This is high growth startup stuff, right? So they pay really well. They're building their products. They're getting marketing, right? They're planning for how their companies are going to scale in our state and how they're going to hire a lot of people here. And so that's what they're going to be able to continue to do. But only one company is going to win that $1 million prize. And so it's a big date coming up.
It is. I'm sure you're going to have lots of attention on this. Can the community, anyone, show up?
Yeah, it's free to attend, and the reason we're able to do this and not charge for it is actually goes back to last year. That there was a $60 million piece of legislation that was passed called the Michigan Innovation Fund. It was passed early January of last year by Governor Whitmer. They had funding for state-backed funds like ours to invest more capital directly into startups, and also had funding for a large pitch competition like this. So it's totally free to register. So do it now. We've had hundreds of people have registered for it already, but there's going to be a lot of people there. If you go to pitchme.org, you can learn more and register.
Ooh, lots of exciting stuff coming up. Okay, so that Pitch Me style competition is coming up Tuesday, April 7th from noon to 3:30 p.m. That's at 224 South Washington Square in Lansing. Pete, thank you so much for joining us on Mid-Michigan Matters.
Thanks for having me.